there's so much help out there for the ones that are struggling. You're not a bad person.
Well, it's known as the silent killer. Many feel suicide is a subject few talk about, often kept silent.
And one ArkLaTex mother is on a mission to empower others by talking about her son's death. She shares her story with KSLA News 12's Marie Waxel.
He loved to race. He raced for children's racing. He started out with his own car, built his own first race car.
Susan Mangrum says her son, 36-year-old Lance Mangrum, loved making people laugh.
He loved people. He didn't meet a stranger.
But she says it all changed after his divorce.
He more or less just isolated himself from us.
Lance, who was 7 years sober, relapsed, turning back to alcohol.
We knew that a lot of things was not right with him, but we could not pinpoint exactly what it was because we didn't have a whole lot of contact with him.
After a moment, Susan recalled a conversation with Lance 2 weeks before his death.
He said, "You know, Mom, I'm tired of talking." And I said, what are you tired of talking about? He said, "I'm tired of explaining myself. I want everybody just to leave me alone." Well, I thought that was kind of odd, but coming from Lance, it wasn't odd, you see.
That was early November. Thanksgiving passed, and Lance spent the time with his children and family. But the call Susan got on November 28th is one she'll never forget.
He always called me Mama. And at that moment, he said, "Mom, I love you more than you will ever know." And you can't imagine how much that is. And I told him, I said, "Well, I love you too, Lance." I said, "You know, Mama loves you more than life."
The next day, Susan's husband and oldest son showed up at her work.
And he walked to me and he said, "It's Lance." And I said, "What happened?" He said, "He committed suicide." As I moved into hours after that, it's like I was totally numb. I could not feel anything. I could not, honest to God, feel anything. And I just kept saying, why? Because Lance was the type of person that would always say, if you try to take your life, that's selfishness. That's being selfish. And he talked about he would never take his life. And he took his life.
After 10 months of intense therapy, Susan is finding her strength to live.
No answers. There was not a suicide note. I wanted to say that Lance's suicide was an accident, that he didn't mean to do it, but he did.
Susan hopes her story will encourage other families to break the silence.
I want to share. I want to be able for us to come together as a group, as a whole, and be able to share our happy moments, our sad moments, how we made it this long, what we went through to get here.
For those of you who've contemplated taking your own life, Susan pleads to think twice.
Me being in recovery myself, this fix that you get through making yourself better, learning to live your everyday life in a different way, you get to share your life with everybody.